So, welcome everyone. If you are here, say hello. If you are watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. I think I'm in the right group. So, today I really want to talk about feeling the need to control food. So, everybody I work with, every single buddy I work with, and I have been there as well myself, we always want to try and control food, right? We want to hold on to that, control. We want to make it really tight and we want to hold on to, our restrictions. We want to hold on to our rules. We want to make them as tight as possible. And actually, when we think about it, when we're squeezing like this and we're squeezing really hard, if you try doing that with your fist now, so if anybody's here with me, try squeezing your fist really, really, really tight, right? And actually what happens is your whole body goes tense and you start to feel pain in your hands. Your fingernails might even dig into your skin, right? So your fingernails might dig into your skin and it just gets painful. It gets really, really, really painful. And in the end, you have to go, oh my goodness me. Because if you release your fingers, then what happens? You feel free, right? And so many people do this with food. They hold on. And like I said, I have been that person. I have been that person where I want to control everything that goes in my mouth. I want to, track everything. I want to control everything. I want to measure everything. I want to weigh everything, including myself. And I want to try and control everything. But when we take a step back and think, right, okay, when you look at other areas in your life, so for example, if you look at your relationships, if you look at your work life, if you look at your business, if you look at any other area in your life, if you look at your relationship with your children, if you look at your relationship with your partner, I really want you to think about which of those relationships work really well when either you are being controlled or you are controlling them, right? Which relationships work? Now, I can almost guarantee that nearly none of them do. None of them do, because, especially when it's people, we don't want to be controlled as people, and we don't want to be controlled, and we don't really want to be controlling others. If we are controlling others, 9 times out of 10, there's something going on inside of us. There is something that we need to deal with, and we need to recognize there is something going on with us if we feel the need to control somebody else, either our children, our partner, our friend, a different relationship, right? And normally what happens is when we try and control someone, and if we see it as a relationship, we see it as a friendship, we see it as a partnership, we see it as one of our child, or we even see it as someone trying to control us. What happens when someone or something tries to control you or me or us, right? What happens? What generally happens? Generally, people go, no, I am not being controlled. Do not control me. I do not like it, and I'm going to push against it. I'm going to push against this because I don't like it, right? Anybody either has gone off the rails, or their partner has either left them, or the partner might have even cheated because they felt so controlled in the relationship that actually that partner pushed them away, and then they ended up cheating or leaving them or going off with somebody else, right? And generally what happens is then that person who did the controlling, they then blame the partner, when actually the behaviour, sometimes what can happen, and I'm not saying this is every case, but what can happen, I know from my own experience in some of my relationships, especially when I was younger, that actually we can push people away. We can push people away. And it's because we either don't think we're worthy enough, we don't think we don't think we are worthy, we don't think we are enough, we don't feel like we have value. And all of these things, even though you're probably thinking, how is this related to food, right? How is it related to food? Well, all of these things are related to food. All of these things are related to food. And the reason why I'm telling you this is what I'm trying to say is when we try and control something, yeah, whether it's food, relationships, ourselves, our partners, when we try and control something, what generally happens is there is a response to that control. Yeah. And what normally happens with food is when we are trying to control food, then our body then desires that food and says, no, I don't want to be controlled. I want to eat that food, right? The more you tell me I can't have it, the more I want it, right? So I don't know if anybody's watching because I'm on my laptop, but I hope this is making sense. So it's like the more we say to ourselves, I can't have this food, I'm not allowed to have this food, I shouldn't have this food, or I'm bad for eating this food, what then tends to happen is the body wants it more, right? And it's psychology. The body wants it more. The body wants that food, that thing that we are telling it not to have. It wants it more, right? It's like if you said to a young child, you cannot have that toy, yeah? You cannot play with this, or you cannot have this game. What would the child want to do, right? The child would want the toy that you said it couldn't play with, right? It would want the game that you said it couldn't play with. That's because when we are controlled and when we are restricted, we want the thing that we are being told we cannot have. Any of you, maybe when you was younger, maybe like went off the rails, because maybe you felt like stifled at home. Maybe you felt like you was being wrapped in a blanket, maybe you felt like you were being controlled or criticised or whatever it was at home, and then what happens is you rebelled against it, right? And it's the same thing with food. It's the same thing. So I really want you to look, if you are emotionally eating, if you are binge eating, really look at how you are currently eating. Are you trying to control food? And you might say to me, no, I don't. I don't diet, and I hear this quite a lot. I don't diet, I don't restrict, I don't control my food. But then what happens is, in the next sentence, I will hear someone say, oh, I felt really good because I was eating healthy, or I felt really good, I had a really good week. And again, even those words say to me that there is a kind of category. We're categorising food. So we're categorising food as good and bad. And when we do that, that means we have our own restrictions. We have our own food rules. We are still having that control mentality. We are still trying to control food in some way, whether we are trying to control by being on a physical diet or we are telling ourselves we shouldn't be eating it. It's still control, right? It's still control. And as soon as you say to yourself and your mind, I shouldn't be eating this, guess what your brain or your mind, guess what it does? It wants it. It wants it, right? Have you ever been, I'll give you an example. Have you ever been going to go to Slimming World, or, you're going to start a diet and you're starting your diet on Monday, right? What happens on the weekend before? What do you do, right? You're starting your diet on Monday and you're telling yourself you're going to be really good. You're not going to eat chocolate. You're not going to eat crisps. You're not going to have pizza. You're not going to have pasta. You're not going to eat carbs, right? What do you do on the weekend before you start your diet? Yeah. And I can guarantee what every single one of you would do. And again, this is human behavior. This is normal. This is absolutely normal. I can guarantee what every single one of you will do will eat all the foods at the weekend, and like some people even call it a cheat meal, cheat day. You will eat all the foods at the weekend before you start your diet on Monday. I can guarantee that happens. It happens every time. And look what happens when we are doing like fitness, like eating plans, what generally happens. And I've done this myself, I don't know if anybody knows, but obviously I used to compete in a bikini category in bodybuilding shows. So I used to compete I can't get my words out, in bikini category. And what would happen, obviously, is I would be really, really, really strict all week, and then I couldn't have cheat days. When I was competing, I couldn't have cheat days, I couldn't have cheat meals, because it would just mess with my head. My head was already like messed up anyway, because the cravings and the triggers and everything was so strong. It was so unbelievably strong. There is no way that I could have had a cheat meal or a cheat day, because I would have just completely gone off the rails and I would never have competed. But what happens quite often when people are doing like fitness plans, or they're doing like, they go to the gym all week, they're really good, and I'm saying good for the purposes of this video. They're really good. So they're really good. They do really well on the diet. They're counting the macros. They're training hard. They're doing really well. And then what happens weekend, right? And I've seen this loads of times. I mean, obviously when you're in the fitness industry, you'll know, you'll get it, you'll see it, right? See it all the time. What happens is they then go for a cheat meal. The cheat meal turns into a cheat day, turns into a cheat weekend, right? And it's just like, oh my goodness me. What has happened? My cheat meal has turned into a complete cheat weekend. And then what happens is they actually are eating more than what they would have done in the whole week if they'd have just listened to their body in the first place, right? And then what happens is people fluctuate in weight. So people fluctuate massively up and down, right? They fluctuate in weight and they can't understand why, and they blame the carbohydrates. They say it's like, the water under the skin, and like the carbohydrates, shouldn't be eating carbohydrates. When actually it's this real feast and famine state that the body's in this real feast and famine state. So a little bit about control. So really, 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 if you are in a place where you are controlling food or trying to control food because you think you are doing right for your body, and you are binge eating, this is the most crucial bit. If you are binge eating, or you are turning to food, or you are emotionally eating, and if you are trying to control your foods, but then actually what happens is either in an afternoon or an evening, you end up turning to foods. It's your body saying that what you are doing isn't working. So when you are trying to either mentally or physically try and control your food, your body is saying this doesn't work for you. This isn't working for you. It's not working for you and your body. Yeah? So try releasing that control. And I know a lot of people say to me, if I release the control, then I'll eat everything. And honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. If you have been on a diet most of your life and you don't know how to eat normally, you have probably lost the connection with your body. You have probably lost that trust with your body. You have probably lost those signs and signals to tell you, when to stop eating. You have probably lost those vital, signals that you need, that we've all been born with. You've probably lost those connections. So you might actually eat a lot more than what you might actually eat a lot more at first, but actually when you start tuning back into those signs and signals and start recognizing them, then your body will balance. It will be where it's meant to be. And if you are struggling to reconnect with your body, and you are struggling to reconnect with your body signs and signals, reach out to me. This is something that it can be taught, it can be learned. You can learn to really reconnect with your body. You can learn to listen to your body. You can learn balance with food. You absolutely can, right? And the longer it takes, or the longer you are on this journey for, should I say, not the longer, the more you connect with your body. So the more your body will connect, and the stronger and stronger those feelings will get. So you will really, really, really be connected to those signs and signals that you were born with, right? That we have just, through dieting, through restriction, through trying to control, we have overridden. We have overridden those signs and signals, and we want those back. So the more you can reconnect with those signs and signals, the more you can stop eating when you are full, and the more you can be at that place, that balanced place for you and your body, without emotionally eating, without binge eating. And there is a difference between emotional eating and binge eating. I won't go into it right now, but you can get to a place where you're not thinking about food. You can get to a place where you can leave food on your plate. You can get to a place where you feel peaceful around food. You can get to a place where you're not triggered every time you walk into, a bakery or a patisserie, or you go to a restaurant and you want to have a dessert, and you can have a dessert. You can get to that place where you feel at peace in your body and free around food. I can promise you that. And if you want to feel free in your body, if you want to feel at peace, in your body, and you want to feel free around food, and you don't want them constant food thoughts, send me a message. If that sounds good good for you and you want to feel free in your body and you know you want to feel free around food, give me a yes below. Give me a comment yes below. And we'll chat some more because it is absolutely possible, I can promise you. So if you have watched this video till the end, well done. It's been 14 minutes long, so well done. And like I said, if you do want to, you know, have freedom, flexibility, peace, and you do want that weight lifted off your shoulder, it is absolutely possible. So, like I said, if you're watching this replay, give me a hashtag replay. If anybody wants to reach out to me, I do have a group program starting soon. So if that sounds good for you, put it in the comments group and I will get back to you as well. So sending you all lots and lots of love and I will see you next week. Next week, I believe I have a guest coming on next week. But I will see you next week. Okay, bye for now. Toodaloo.